Usually, and I'm speaking generally, you should listen to your parents' advice until you grow a bit older. But this isn't the main channel. This is just a channel where I answer your questions. So if you have any questions, don't hesitate to write them in the comments. Now let's assume you're around 18 years old and want your parents to understand your decisions. Maybe you don't want to continue your studies, or maybe you do. Or maybe you want to study something different than what they want for you. It could be anything that you think will benefit you. What I want you to do is ask your parents for 10 minutes of their time, saying, "I just need 10 minutes because we have something important to discuss." The key is to show them that you're serious. I know they're your parents and you've lived with them your whole life, but this time, I want you to appear as a completely new person, someone they don't know yet, someone much stronger than before, someone responsible. Sit down in front of them, don't be nervous, and don't be scared, as this will ruin everything for you. If you don't feel brave enough, pretend to be brave. When you're sitting with them, say what I'll tell you now, but in your own way so it doesn't sound rehearsed or fake. Say, "Mom, Dad, you raised me and worked hard for me. I could never forget your sacrifices, and I'll never be able to repay them. I know you want what's best for me, and that's why you're sometimes strict with me. But I want you to know that I'm now an adult and responsible. I am now accountable for my actions before God, which means I'm also responsible for my decisions in this life. God gave me a mind for a reason, and that reason is to take responsibility for myself. I know you think it would be better for me if I do this," mention what they want. "But God gave me a vision that it's not the right fit for me. God gave me my own perspective, and I believe in it. I'm not asking you to understand this perspective that God gave me because it's meant for me alone. What I'm asking is for you to trust the son you've raised all these years. One day I will also trust my child when they come to me. Every person is like a shipbuilder who works hard on the ship, preparing it as best as possible. But in the end, they have to trust it to sail without sinking. Listen, I might fail. Worst case, that could happen. It might not turn out to be in my best interest, and I'll work hard to fix my mistake, but at that point, I'll only blame myself. I would rather blame myself than blame you. I prefer to fail at something and say it was my fault than to fail at something and say, I never wanted this. I did it because of you, and blame you. I want to take responsibility for myself, and I hope you understand. If you pass away before I do, God knows our fates. I don't want to be left alone thinking that my parents were the reason for my failure. I want to be able to say, my parents raised me well, set me on the best path possible, and even when I failed, I managed to pick myself up to become the man I am today. Now, regardless of your parents' religion, whether they are Muslim, Christian, Hindu, or whether they were strict with you, or even if you think they dislike you because of their harsh treatment, they will respond to these words. For the first time, they will see that you are mature. If you are a daughter, they will see that you have reached the stage where you can take responsibility for your decisions. If you're a son, they will see a 100-year-old man in you for the first time. Just to be clear, being good to your parents doesn't mean being a slave to their every word. It means living in the best way possible and making sure your parents live the best way possible too. True honor is when they look at you and see a man they can rely on, someone who can move mountains for them and pave the way so that when they pass away, they see a part of themselves in you. If you do this, believe me, they will be 1,000,000 times happier with you than if you simply followed every instruction without question. Your parents aren't against your decisions, my friend. They're against who you are at the moment. God will change you, and at that point, your parents will be on your side. And one more thing, if you become that man your parents are proud of, know that I'll be proud of you too. As I said, if you have any questions, write them below in the comments. This was Souhail. Peace.